Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Online Karting League. This is just some random ranked racing throughout the week. We've decided to stream the 8:15, 8:30, and 9:15 races. So we're just having three races, 5 minutes qualifying, and getting straight into the action. The race should be only 7 minutes, or 7 laps rather, and then we quit and go into the next one. Super exciting though. We've got 8 drivers for this one. Ruben Victor, Deacon Willifeer, Alexander Pricevic, Daniel Resende, Gunnar van Hamburg, Ben Lee, who's the OKL World Champ from last year, Max Boshoff, and John Stander Jr. Gunnar using the Angry Racing or Angry Esports livery there. Stander has got a Allen card, that's Lando Norris. Kokoro Esports in the form of Max Boshoff. Everybody's starting their first laps pretty much. Formula K there by Daniel Resende. We are running the Tillotson carts. So the T4s. They are slow but probably the most fun carts to race in OKL at the moment when it comes to ranked racing. It is so close. I was on the track earlier with the kids. Doing some laps, and I think we were split by 3/10, the 6 of us on track. So it is super fun, and it's so enjoyable, really. Just checking sounds coming through fine, confirming everything's okay. 8 carts, like I said. That's Ruben Victor with a plus minus. Livery there, Pricevic, first one to put in a competitive lap. Tillotsons, which is the lawnmowers. But they are really, like I said, the most enjoyable carts to race with. Maybe not the most technical, but when it comes to racing, the only thing you have to do is keep momentum. And with these carts, if you lose a little bit of momentum, you'll lose about 3 positions easily, depending on where you're sitting in that train. So let's see Pricevic cross the line this time around. What does his lap look like? 1 minute to go in quali, very short quali. Pricevic crosses the line and he does not improve. Next, Van Hamburg. Nine-tenths off the pace there. Max Boshoff crossing the line now this time around. He goes into P1, just a little bit less than a tenth ahead of Pricevic. Standard 2.5 off the pace so far. Resende currently in P5, half a second off. Here comes Ruben Victor crossing the line this time around. Does he get better? No, he stays in P3. Deacon Willifeer, Formula K, sporting his own helmet there. That's his old helmet, I believe. Willifeer still half a second off the lead. Ben Lee hasn't completed a lap. Ben Lee still getting, he's only starting the last lap now. Look at that, Pricevic going 53.178. 4 tenths ahead of P2. Van Hamburg 1.4 off. Some of the guys did some practice. Some of the guys arrive and drive. That's the whole thing about ranked. You just join when it suits you and you start racing against each other. It's super fun. There's points to be gained though. There's a leaderboard, a ranked leaderboard. And the more you, or the better you do, the more you score. Ruben Victor going into P2 as he crosses the line to finish his qualifying. Deacon Willifeer will cross the line. Does he improve? He's in 4th place at the moment, a second off the lead. It does improve on the lap time, but not position. Ben Lee doing his first and only lap that counted, 1.2 off. Pricevic remains in P1. Resende will cross the line. Did we just jump? No. Van Hamburg doesn't improve on his lap. Max Boshoff crossing the line. Does he get better this time around? It does, but remains in P3. So he's gone from 420 to 1/10 off. Stander struggling with his qualifying there. Resende as well, second off. So top 3 split by a 10th. But that's pretty much it. Let's get going. Let's get into the swing of things, straight into the race. It is a 7-lap final. We quit the server, register for the next, wait a minute or two, and we go into the next race. It's all automated, no admin interventions. If the guys get disqualified whilst on the grid, unfortunately, it's not an official league race. We're not resetting anything. We just get straight into it. And this is, like I said, this is our ranked system. So I am purely joining as a spectator and commentating. That's all. Did I just see? Gunner just got a disqualification. Just having a look here. That's unfortunate for him, though. That's one driver less on the grid. Everybody's ping seems fine. It's only 2 international drivers. The rest are all within the Africa region. Resende from Mozambique. Bosov, Pricevic, Victor. Oh, there goes Hamburg. Stander, Victor, Pricevic, and Bosov all down in the Cape Town region. And then we've got Bentley, UK, I believe. Van Hamburg, who just quit or got a DSQ. He's from the Netherlands. Deacon Willifeer in Gauteng. And Resende in Mozambique. There we go. Waiting for the lights. Everybody's in the start sequence. Let's wait for the lights to go out. And there we go. Slow start with the T4s as we have come accustomed to. Bentley getting a mega start off the line there. Just giving Deacon Willifeer a slight love tap from behind. Pricevic losing a position already. Victor going into P1. Max Bosov down the inside. Defending Deacon Willifeer. Willifeer already tucking. Trying to maximize his straight line speed. Pricevic going down the inside of Ruben Victor. Pricevic, Victor side by side into the triple left-hander sequence we go. It is 4, 5, all cards together apart from 1. John Stander not getting the greatest start. Junior there. Down the inside we go. Pricevic. Here comes a 2-for-1 special. Max Bosov getting involved there. Nope. Victor blocking off that potential charge. Bosov immediately under threat there from Willifeer and Resende getting involved as well. Defensive line there by Pricevic is going to compromise his exit onto the start finish. So, over the line we go. It's almost a photo finish across the line there. Well, not a finish of the first lap rather. But it is side by side. Nothing splitting these two at the moment. Pricevic leading the charge though. Victor on the defense. Nope. Going on the attack on the outside. Pricevic on the defense. Bosov and Willifeer fighting just behind him. Getting involved. Here comes back Bosov now. Max Bosov getting involved. Pricevic teammates Kokoro Racing or Esports. And Bosov goes into P2. See what I mean? You lose a little bit of momentum, you lose a couple positions. Oh, look at Max Bosov. 2 corners, 2 positions. He moves himself up into P1, defending very hard there. Oh, a little bit of a love tap there. 3 wide. Oh, nice job, guys. Somehow, here we go. Into the right-hander. Deacon Willifeer over the curb there, climbing the curb, using all of the track and a little bit more. Bosov has gone from P1 to P4 in the space of 3 corners. Pricevic started the lap on P1, moved all the way back and came back into P1 just in space of 1. Oh no, Max Bosov there. I think Bosov and Deacon Willifeer went side by side into the chicane, and unfortunately Bosov came second best off that. That's unfortunate. Pricevic, Victor, Willifeer. Pricevic got a bit of a gap, but as we know, the toe in the Tillotson is insanely strong. So as soon as you get within that 2-3 carts length, you just get pulled towards the cart in front of you. So Victor not out of this at all. Lap 3 of 7. Almost done. Here comes Victor. Like I said there, he's got a legendary driver within the OKL space, Troy Dolenczek's helmet on. Will he be able to do what Troy Dolenczek does, and that's just win everything he enters? Is it possible for Victor to come back at Pricevic? Pricevic, I believe, is currently the ranked #1 driver in the South African leaderboard. Or the African leaderboard. No, I'm lying. That honors goes to Max Bosov, who has unfortunately had a bit of exchange with some of the boys in the... Well, I think it was Deacon Willifeer rather. Here we go. Ruben Victor, Pricevic still having a good battle. Let's just quickly see what's happening a bit further back. Ben Lee coming back at Daniel Rusende. Ben Lee trying a arrive and drive. Apologies, my phone just rang there. My sound coming through. Yeah, we're all good. Let's just go back to the leading charge Pricevic and Victor still having a go at it. 2 more laps to go, I believe. Yeah, 2 laps. Pricevic still in the lead. Bentley, Daniel Resende having a go at it. Where's Max Borsov? He's coming back at the guys in front. Well, he's got one position back, rather. John Steiner just behind Bentley. Is he going to do something here? Bentley's now using probably this race as a practice race, I suppose. Resende holding his line. Bentley not doing much at the moment. Yes, as I say that, yeah, he goes. Resende getting a bit of a worse exit, but he's still got the position there. Resende holding his line, the youngster from Mozambique. Here comes Max Borsov trying to get involved on this. He's got 2 more laps to go before he will be able to well, probably, hopefully enough lap times to get onto these guys. Here we go. Pricevic, Victor still having a go at it up in front. Pricevic keeping that defensive line. Oh, here we go. A little bit of a cutback there by Victor. Victor going down the inside into the triple left-hander. Pricevic is going to have to forfeit that position. Having said that, he's going to send it down the inside. And taking the inside line into the next corner as well. The double right, and look at how compromised Victor was on the exit of the double right into the final sector. Olivier still in P3. Bentley has managed to get past Daniel Resende, and will he be able to pull away? But just right behind him, just trying to maximize his points gain from this race, is Max Borsov. That's the start of our final lap. We see the white flag as we finish get over the start finish. Kukoro esports driver, he had an unfortunate exchange with Olivier in the beginning of the race. Will he be able to at least get up into P4? Might be a little bit too much for him. Keeping an eye on the track map as well, just to see what's happening here up front as we go into the final sector. Oh, Pricevic climbing over the curb, bouncing, losing all that momentum. Did he just throw away his race? Pricevic is going to try and do something here. Look at that. We've got Victor defending that line. He should be able to keep that momentum into the last corner. Keep the inside line. Yes. Is that a Hail Mary? Yes, it is by Pricevic. And he pushes Victor out. Pricevic takes the line. Ruben Victor in P2 and Deacon Olivier in P3. Bentley coming back strong into P4. And unfortunately, Max Borsov running out of laps. Everybody has to quit immediately if they want to get into the next race. Do they have enough time, though? I think they would have been too late. Let's see. Oh, only 2 people registered for the next race. Double check. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, unfortunately, we'll have to take a bit of a break. As the boys did not quit their race quick enough to load into the next one. So we'll just maybe just sit through a practice session whilst we wait for everybody to get on to the next session. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep an eye on Liam Tekisu, who was the only one that actually registered for the next race because there was an overlapping time slot. Or as the guys finished the previous race, so we'll just hang around for a couple more minutes and then get ready for the next race, which will be at, well, 10 minutes from now, pretty much. So already 8 guys registered for the next one. And quickly have a look at who's registered. Liam Tekiso will probably quit this one immediately and then go in. We should see Gunnar van Hamburg, Deacon Olivier, Daniel Rezende, Prizovic, Victor Bosov, Rory Sangmafisa. Alright, so we've got everyone we need. Follow along with Liam Tekiso. Oh, he decides to send it into the tires. Oh, qualifying's done, that's why. Now, of course, if we don't have at least 4 drivers on the track, they will not count. The race will not be counted. So we'll just follow along with Liam Tekiso, who's pretty much just doing a practice drive whilst we wait for the next session to start. Ah, never mind. Tekiso, I think, has left the server already. Yeah, he has. Alright, 1 second as we move over. Back waiting on the server to get online. We've got 9 guys that have registered. Let's have a quick look at who scored what from that previous race. So officially Pricevic scored 50 ranked points towards his total of 2,000. Well, I think his total was on 2,444. Victor scored 79, so he's up to 1,099. Deacon Willifeed 38, so he's up to 1,300 and what's that? 95. Ben Lee, who came in 4th, plus 21. Max Boshoff would now have been knocked down the top seed of the ranked leaderboard. He's lost 40 points. Vereeniging lost 20. Stander 35, and Van Hamburg lost 59. So let's just have a look at the current top 10 of the leaderboard on the OKL rank system. Pricevic leading the way, 2,444. Max Boshoff 2,371. In 3rd would be Ruan Victor, who's not racing, 1,400. Deacon Willifeed 1,395. In 4th place, Ben Lees moves up into 5th place on the leaderboard, 1,200. My name, Sean Loebscher, is in P6, 1,172. Mateo Mason not racing. Max Mason not racing. Daniel Resende 1,103, and that is in 9th place, and then currently in 10th on the leaderboards Maddox Mason, who's also not racing tonight. So we will still see quite a lot of movement on the leaderboard, and that server should now be coming online so we can get racing. There we go, server's online, loading in, and then we'll get the feed back online for you guys. So far 7 of the guys have joined in, and we are back online and going into the qualifying. 3 minutes to go. 7 of the drivers online: Ruben, Victor, Deacon, Olivier, Pricevic, Resende, Van Hamburg, or as we in South Africa would say, Van Hamburg, Stander, and Liam de Kiso. That's Stander, John Stander Jr. I'm wondering if his dad is peeking over his shoulder as he's racing, or if he's got the stream open on the TV. Alright, all the drivers will start with their first qualifying laps. Still a couple guys not joining yet. The only problem, the kids that have registered and not joining, they will take a big knock on their rating. You lose like 100 points if you don't join the actual race after registering. That's going to be unfortunate for the ones that don't join in. Let's have a look. Ruben Victor is still sinking. Okay, so he's trying to get in still. Only 6 on track, 1 missing, or 2 missing rather. John Stander, first one to cross the line, 55. 3, that's not really that competitive of a lap. Let's see what Willifeed does, 53.9. So he's the fastest out there at the moment. Everybody's putting their laps. There we go, 53.3 by Pricevic, leading the charge. Next that will cross the line is Daniel Resende. Excuse me. Daniel Resende getting close into the last right-hander, second last right-hander rather. And into the final corner we go. Daniel Resende crossing the line. What does his lap time look like? No lap time. Okay, so somewhere he's had a bit of a cut. Standard 910. Standard's got a bit better pace this time around. Let's see. Deacon Willifeed crossing the line now, and he 1/10 off the lead. Liam Tekiso, 3 seconds, hasn't found his pace. The bar has been raised once again by Pricevic, a 53.1. Van Hamburg is 8/10 off of the charge at the moment. So Max Bosov hasn't joined us. That's unfortunate. It doesn't seem like Ruben Victor's getting onto the server. That's a pity. I would have liked Bosov to join back in and race the next one. Just because of the nice battle Bosov and Prasovic has on the OKL ranked leaderboard. But okay, we'll make do with 6 or 7. We're saying there's still no legitimate lap. Standard 1.1 of the lead. Olivier 10th, just below 2/10. Nope, Prasovic raising the bar once again. Liam Tekiso also not managing to get a good lap in at the moment. Still 3.4 of the charge or the lead there. Let's see, will Daniel Lucene be able to get a lap on the board though? Because this is the final qualifying lap by each driver. Apart from Victor, who has not made it into the server, it seems. Right, let's see what does Daniel Lucene do. Crossing the line this time around. Does he improve on his lap, or does he even actually set a lap? Yes, he does. Into 3rd place he goes. Here comes John Standard Jr. 1.2 off the charge there. And Deacon Willifield, will he get towards Prasovic lap time? He does improve the slightest bit there. Tekiso goes. And there we go. Prasovic once again raising the bar. Van Hamburg goes into P3. Daniel Lucene is P4. Tekiso in P5. Standard. Oh, Max Bosov has started loading in, but he will have to race from the back of the field if he makes it onto the server in time. Bosov is currently showing as sinking. Hopefully he gets on. That's unfortunate though. If he doesn't, because that he'll still lose points regardless. But I mean, if he gets onto the track in time, we can get it going, or loads into the server rather. Just keeping an eye on that while we wait for the boys to get onto the track. Come on, Bosov. Don't press buttons. Trust the process. It should load in. Well, we're hoping it loads in. If he doesn't make it in, that's... Oh, he does make it in. Max Bosov will start right at the back of the field, but he can race. And that's what matters. Bosov will be caught number 8 on the track, starting in 8th place. But this is T4. Get the good start and you'll be good to go. Excuse me. 50 seconds. If the boys goes to the track, all of them at the same time, it will skip the time and we can just get going. Keeping an eye on the timer in the back just so I can see everybody gets on. Only person we're waiting for is Bosov. There we go. Everybody should now be on the track. 8 carts that has made it onto the track. Bosov leaving it to the absolute last possible second to load into the server and join the track. Prasovic P1, Willifir P2. This is the start of the ranked race, 7 laps. There we go. Lights out and away we go. Slow as always with the T4s. You look at Max Bosov having an absolute great start in the background there. Hopefully he doesn't get pushed off. Well, if you're already battling, nope, he's moved up into or stayed into P2. Here comes Van Hamburg down the inside of Willifir, pushing him out onto the... Oh, Willifir did survive somehow, but there's chaos. Carts are bumping each other all over the track. Bosov doing the clever thing, kind of lifting out, trying to survive because he wants to come back and score some good points in this race. Let's have a look at the charge from the back from Bosov, because he's already moved up 1, now 2 positions down the inside of Ruben Victor. Ruben Victor rather, sorry. Ruben Victor is the younger cousin of Ruben Victor. Ruben Victor coming back at Bosov. Tekiso in getting in the way there. Is he going to send it down the inside? No, he's not. Bosov doing the sensible thing and lifting out. However, Tekiso seems much lower at the moment. Here comes Victor down the inside. Side by side we go down the start finish. Alright, there we go. Positions have been swapped. Did Max Bosov get a time penalty though? Because it did seem... No, it didn't. Deacon Williford does have a time penalty for that nudge from Van Hamburg, unfortunately. Here comes Ruben Victor though. Well, if you're moving down the inside of Daniel Resende, there's fights all over the place. Van Hamburg is in P2, Prazovic in P1, and they've got a pretty big gap between themselves and the carts behind. The one thing that Bosov and Victor doesn't want to be doing right now is fighting, though, because fighting on track is, you know, all they're doing is losing time and losing track space to the carts up front. But look at Bosov. Wow, look at that charge. And that's exactly what happens. Olivier and Resende fighting on track. Bosov and Victor getting involved immediately. Bosov has made a really good start to this race. He's now on screen in P6. But he's definitely further up, though. Does he have a timing penalty? Oh, he did have a 1 second penalty. That's unfortunate for Bosov. Ruben Victor, Max Bosov still fighting on track. And here comes Daniel Resende sending it down the inside. So now we've got 3 carts broken away from the chasing pack. And that is Olivier, Van Hamburg and Prazovic on their own, with Bosov now into P4. All the way from the back. Bosov's getting involved. He's been in quite a lot of exchanges from the beginning of the race up until now. And we only completed 3 of the laps. Bosov for Kokoro Esports. Will he be able to get onto the back of Olivier? Seems to be quite a big gap. Resende stays in that toe, so that means he'll be pulled so much closer and quicker down the straight towards Bosov. Although Bosov does seem like he's got that under control. Resende and Victor just behind him. But Prazovic so far pulling away from everybody else, and he's got a big gap. Bosov also now catching onto the back of Deacon Olivier a little bit, but the fight still happening on track is Victor and Resende. Victor going down the inside of Resende. Clever enough to not fight that immediately. I wouldn't even fight this. I would just kind of tuck in behind him. Resende just noticing, nope, he doesn't want that. He wants to fight. Oh, Olivier climbing over the curb there. Didn't want to yield out of that, and unfortunately came off second best in that exchange. That is Ruben Victor, rather. I think I said Olivier, but yeah, Ruben Victor unfortunately losing out badly there. Unfortunately, Liam Tekiso joining in, but he's quite far off the pace at the moment. Stander having a lonely race here so far. Somebody that's got a really lonely race, that's Alexander Prazovic. Someone that's not been having a lonely race is Max Bosov, who has now found himself in front of Deacon Olivier. So Bosov and Olivier exchanging numbers at the moment. Driver from Cape Town versus the driver from Gauteng. A 2-stroke Carter versus a 4-stroke Carter. Bosov has really made a good comeback in this race, though. Starting at the back, joining in at the absolute last possible opportunity, and starting at 8th, he's already into P3. Bosov, Olivier, Van Hamburg, the only European driver on track at the moment. Bosov going the defensive route into the triple left-hander section. It's a very long left-hander that. Throwing that cart into the final left-hander, then the double right. Just behind these two. I wanted to move away because I see something happening behind them, but Olivier gets involved here. Resende and Stander having a go at it as well. Stander going the defensive route. Oh no! Resende on his outside, turning in, clipping the rear of Stander there. That's unfortunately for Junior. Look at Bosov and... oh, we've got a 3-way battle for P2. This is the final lap, though. Here comes Bosov. He's going to take P2. Oh, no, he clips Hamburg. Getting involved is Deacon Olivier, and he gets off second best. Actually, third best in that exchange. Olivier will not be impressed with that, but that is netcode for you. You have to be very mindful of the carts around you. Van Hamburg and Bosov having a go at it. Oh, Bosov... I think he clipped the rear of Van Hamburg there, and he's pushing him out a little bit wide there. Going down the outside. Oh, he's going around the outside. That's what's going to be the spot for him. And taking P1, Pricevic for the second time this evening. Bosso from last to second, great comeback there. And Van Hamburg in P3. Well done. Oh, Liam Tekiso going into... there's a time penalty. P4 for Resende. Tekiso and Resende had a photo finish across the line there. Deacon Willifier yoinking and spinning all over the cross. Unfortunately, Willifier coming back in P6. P7 is Ruben Victor, and finishing in last place on track would be John Stander Jr. Not having it his way. Alright, well, that's it for the ranked racing for tonight. We'll try and do this more often. We'll schedule some races with the boys. Let them know which time slots we'll be streaming. And we'll be bringing them back a little bit more often. Gonna try at least do every Tuesday if we can. If not, we'll maybe select some random days and stream it out for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you for the next one, which will probably be next week. Maybe this weekend. I don't know. We'll confirm that with you guys as soon as we possibly can. Thank you all. Bye-bye.